Thank you so much for joining me again tonight. What you do not know is I almost did not come on here tonight because I was just everlasting tired. And I was like thinking all these negative thoughts of, you know what, I'm not going to do it. Why get on? Why bother? All those things. But I had to step back and think that, you know what? I gotta finish what I start, right? So I gotta keep showing up for myself if I don't show up for anybody else. I got to show up for myself. So this is something I have committed to. And so this is something that I have to do. And I'm sure you come to points like that in your life where you feel like, what's the use? Why keep going? Why bother? Why carry this burden? Why continue to do this? And it not get the instant results that we seek, because we do live in a society we want things to be instant. We want quick gratification, we want quick results, we want to be able to see the benefits of our labor like that, and it doesn't always happen like that. There are small micro shifts that we have, micro shifts, small sudden changes that we make in our lives to help us get to the point of breakthrough, right? So I was sitting there and I was thinking, that when I first embarked upon doing these lives on Sunday nights, I was like, okay, I'm going to try to do this. I had been shying away from it for a while, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to dive in. I'm going to do it and see how it works. So I started doing it and I started getting more used to it. My audience started growing, feedback started coming in. And I was like, okay, this is going pretty good. Then I started to think, how can I change things up? How can I switch things up? Not just with my live, but also with my podcast. What I didn't understand was I was having a micro shift, changing my thoughts and making subtle changes to eventually get to that breakthrough. We think that breakthroughs happen, or we think that something is going to happen in our life that's going to make everything right. We think that at some pivotal moment, it's going to all turn out right. Everything's going to come together. Somebody's going to discover me. It's going to be all this, and I'm going to arrive. It doesn't happen like that. You have to put in the work. You have to be dedicated. And that's in everything that you do in life. That's a work ethic that you have to have. Just the ability to keep showing up, as I said earlier, to keep showing up for yourself, having that work ethic, being vulnerable, checking yourself when you need to check yourself, going back and seeing what changes that you can do to make life a little bit better, or to move in the direction that you would like to move in. Years ago, I read a book called The Mountain Is You. I read this book in small doses because the information was so rich and important. It was so many lessons in that book. And I still refer back to it even today. And tonight, just when I was just about to go on, I was looking at it and I saw this phrase that I had highlighted. If you can see, I highlighted it. And it says, what you do every single day accounts for the quality of your life and the degree of your success. It's not whether you feel like putting in the work, but whether or not you do it regardless. So like I was saying, it speaks to what I was saying a moment ago about these small micro shifts that you make in order to affect change in your life, in order to get to a point of satisfaction or gratification that is beneficial to you. So when I think about my live, or I think about my podcast, or I think about my YouTube and how I would like for it to work, I know that I'm not the best editor. I'm not, a techie savvy person, but the subtle changes that I have made is to try to deep dive and try to learn something different. I try to learn how to do things a little bit different for myself instead of always outsourcing stuff, so that I'll be able to accomplish that and do it for myself, right? And you can apply that to your life. What are some things that you think that you can do in life to make subtle changes that eventually becomes habit forming? It becomes habit forming. And when you develop that habit forming behavior, you're able to keep going. And when no one else encourages you, you can encourage yourself. And believe me, it's going to come to a point in time that they ain't going to encourage you. People are not going to believe in what it is that you are pushing towards. People are not going to support you, especially some of your loved ones, especially those ride or dies that you think would. They're not always going to do it, but it's not for them. It's for the people that don't know you. It's for the people that's going to turn around, and get behind you and support you. Complete strangers will come out and do what others won't do. But you have to continue to push forward. Take note of that. What you do every single day accounts for the quality of life and the degree of your success. We have to keep that in mind. That's a nugget. It's not whether you feel like putting in the work, but whether or not you do it regardless. So it's not that I didn't feel like, it's not about me not feeling like I want to get on my live tonight, because I didn't feel like it, but I knew I need to put in the work anyway. Monday, I did a thing. I took a chance to do a live recording with some additional people on my podcast. I wanted to have it audio wise as well as a visual for my YouTube page. Never done it before. Didn't know what I was doing. But I sat down daily or every other day and I tried to research on Google and try to find out how I could make this happen. How could I develop it? How could how could I make it work? Guess what? I did it. I took that dive and I made it work. And guess what? I recorded my first one. Me and two other guests were able to have a full-fledged conversation, and it was a great conversation. And I was able to have it recorded for YouTube as well as recorded for my season 2 of my podcast, just like that. So what I'm saying is you got to be committed to this. You have to be committed. And something that I always like think about in the back of my mind is just when you feel like giving up, you are almost there. And I've heard people that are very successful say that many times. Just when you feel like you are exhausted, you're at the end of your rope, this is not working, nobody's listening, nobody cares, I might as well stop. That is when you're on the edge of your breakthrough. So you got to remember those micro shifts, changing things in your life, changing things for the better. It could be something as simple as, hey, I want to weed out some things that I eat in my life, some things that may not agree with my stomach, but I really love them. But I'm going to take small steps that I can weed those things out and that I can have a better diet. When you start eliminating those things a little bit at a time, daily, next thing you know, you develop a habit, you've made a lifestyle change. Same thing with work. If it's something that your goal is to have a conference, your goal is to sell more items, your goal is to be a better person, your goal is to be more forward thinking and to be in front of people, to make some more connections. If you start with 1-2 connections, you start with thinking more positive, making affirmations on your wall or your window or your mirror, you start doing those things, it's going to continue to grow and grow and grow and grow. And you may not feel like nobody is listening, you may not feel like anyone is caring about what you're doing, but it is someone out there somewhere that is watching what you're doing, and eventually with time you're going to see the results of your hard work. Take it for what it's worth. You can even apply it to relationships. Sometimes we have relationships that are very good, healthy relationships. Sometimes we have some relationships that's just that it's a relationship. We talk, we communicate, it's a good kiki sometimes, and then we move forward. I'm not really getting anything from that relationship other than, a good catch up, a good laugh, we moving forward. But then you have some good solid relationships that you're learning from, some good solid relationships that you're benefiting in the areas that you want to see your success in. Those are the ones that you want to pour more into. Those are the ones that you want to continue to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to make sure I keep that relationship going because it's giving me a benefit. Now, a couple of lives ago, we talked about friendships, we talked about relationships, we talked about seasons and having these things around at that time. We talked about those things. And I want you to continue to carry that. I want you to continue to know and to understand that I got to do whatever it is it's going to take for me to get to where it is I want to be in life. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know when it's going to happen, but if I keep making these micro shifts in my life, it's going to eventually happen. It's going to eventually come out for me. And I'm going to be ready for it. Something that I saw a preacher was saying one day, because I like to look at a lot of inspirational stuff. I have to pour into myself now. I do the same thing. And this preacher was saying the things that you're wanting, desiring, and hoping for, are you ready to have that? Are you equipped to do that? Let's say, for instance, that, you want to have a thriving practice. You want to have a thriving practice where you see clients and you're able to build them and you're able to make, X amount of money. Are you ready for that? Are you equipped for that? Can you handle that type of blessing? You may say, you know what? I want to attain this position at work where I'm in leadership and I can do this. And I saw this person do that and I can do it better and I can do this. Okay, if you want that and you desire that, are you really equipped to do that? How are you under stress? How have you managed a budget? How have you managed people? How are you in with empathy? How are you with compassion? How are you with leadership? Are you really able to carry that? So you have to ask yourself those questions when you're asking and seeking out things that you want in your life. For example, I feel like I would love one day to have my own TV show. I would love one day to have my own talk show. But I have to be real with myself. Shamika, are you ready for that? Are you equipped to do that? Maybe not now, but eventually I will get there if I keep making these micro shifts, because it's sometimes I don't want to be bothered. It's sometimes that I don't want to be bothered. It's sometimes I don't know what the freaks say, so I don't know. But I know if I keep reading, if I keep studying it, if I keep perfecting this craft, if I keep putting myself in front of the camera, if I keep doing those things, eventually that will happen for me. I would love to sell products. I'm a wellness person. I support mental health. I think about several things, have great ideas that I would like to do. But you know what? I have to ask myself, are you ready for that capacity? What if you get an order for 500,000 people? Are you ready to do that? No, I'm not. So you have to be realistic for yourself. I'm not saying that you can't have those goals. What I'm saying is you have to do the discipline and the work to be able to achieve those things and to maintain it. Because a lot of times things can come very easily, but can you keep it? You can look at that with finances. You may have a lucrative salary, but can you maintain it? You can make six figures, but live like you make 20,000 if you don't know how to manage it and maintain it. You may have some good relationships with people that you feel is 1,000% solid, but if you're not showing up for them, but like they're showing up for you, eventually, guess what? That's going to fall through. You got to check yourself. You got to look into yourself and see what it is that you can be to someone else. Service is a big part of my heart. You got to be willing to serve in order to learn, in order to grow, in order to make connections, in order to be humble. In order to be humble, you got to be willing to say, you can't just go to people and say, hey, I want to get on your team, or hey, how did you do that? How about changing that whole conversation to, you know what? I see what you're doing. I would like to collaborate with you. Hey, I see what you're doing. Can we talk about this, that, and the third? Hey, I got an idea I want to bounce off on you. Those types of things. Those small micro shifts can make a world of difference to get you where you want to be. Where you want to be. If you keep doing something over and over and over again and it's not yielding the results that you want to have, you got to change something. You got to change something. We can want something so bad we can taste it. But if you're not disciplined enough, maybe you're not going to achieve it. And you got to start asking yourself, okay, Lord, okay, I did this. I did A, B, C, D. Why is this not happening to me? Maybe it's not your time. It's not saying it's not going to happen, but maybe it's not your time. Maybe it's something inside here that you may need to change. Maybe it's something around you that you need to change. Because believe it or not, toxic people can be an anchor on you. They can pull you down and hold you back. You can be so blinded by relationships and other crap that's going on in your life, you can't even see what it is that you want to be. You can't get to where you're going because something is pulling you back. You got to cut that mess off. You got to focus on you. This is 2025. If you don't get it now, I don't know when you're going to get it. Sis, bruh, cousin, nephew, niece, if you don't get it now, in the wake of everything that's going on in the world, I don't know when you're going to get it. Now, you would have thought a lot of us, speaking to myself, would have caught it in 2020 when the world came to a complete halt. You would have thought we would have learned how to reinvent ourselves, take better care of ourselves, be better with our finances, be better in our relationships because people were dropping like flies, take better care of our health because people that had those comorbidities like diabetes, heart problems, high blood pressure, those we would have taken better care of ourselves. You would have thought that would have been a wake-up call. But what did we do? We went right back into our normal routine. Then we had the president that came into office, Trump, and we were, all just kind of like, in a spaz, like, oh my God, what's going to happen? People are living in uncertainty right now, but you cannot allow that to distract you from where it is that you want to go. Those are distractions. We can't let that stop us. It's 2025. We got to get on board. We got to do what it is we got to do to look out for who? Self. To look out for self. Think about that. Marinate on that. I can't deal with your dysfunction. I can't carry your weight. I don't have time to figure out what's wrong with you. I got to take care of me. I got to look out for me. This is what it is. It's a me season. It's a me season. And if you can't get nothing else from what I told you tonight, realize and understand that you got to concentrate on you. That's all it's about. It's about you, your sanity, your faith, your walk. It's about all of that. And I really believe and I feel that a lot of us that have these grand ideas or that want to accomplish so much in life, it's not that you can't get there. It's just that you need to do a little bit of self-evaluation. It's that you got to take the time to try to research and find out what your niche is. Find out what's holding you back. Go ahead and dive in to what it is that you want to do and believe it. Prime, one of my favorites, always says, you got to believe. And, I have to tell myself that because I may say it and I may believe it a little bit, but sometimes I get a little weird and I'll be like, well, I don't know, but can I take that leap? You got to be sure about that thing. You got to say, yes, I can do it. And just like I said earlier, if you take those small micro shifts just to change, micro shifts, that's what I'm saying. Take small micro shifts in your daily life. You can get to where it is that you want to go in life. It's not going to fall in your lap. Nobody's going to come save you. Nobody's going to give you the playbook. Nobody's going to do it for you. But you can make your own plan. You can make your own plan and travel your own road and pull from the resources that are around you. We want to turn to the internet for everything. Just like I told you earlier, book I read years ago, The Mountain Is You. I advise you, go and get it. Get it, read it, dissect it, because it is a lot. It is a lot to dissect, and it really shows you about self-sabotage, about the mastery of self, mastering who you are and what it is that you desire to become. That's very important. How are you going to be anything else to someone else if you don't even know? You ain't got a clue what it is you need to do. You don't have a clue how to handle your own mess. You don't have a clue on how to unpack your own self-doubt, your own self-sabotage. And we all have it. We all have that. And we got to learn how to master that, because a lot of times the mountain is you. Just like tonight, I didn't want to come on. I was like, you know what? I told my daughter, make me a sign. I'm going to put it up. I ain't going on. I don't feel like I've done too much this weekend. I'm tired. No. As I sat there, I thought about it. I said, no, you got to keep showing up even when you don't want to. Those are the times that count. I didn't even have a clue what I was going to talk about tonight. Like I said, I was sitting here like skimming over my book, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to get on and I'm going to talk about that. Because somebody needs to hear that. Somebody needed to hear that in that moment. And a lot of times we cheat ourselves out of things because we go off of feelings. We go off of how we feel right in that moment. And that's not what it's about. It's never about you. It's always about someone else. But you can't make it about someone else if you don't know where you're going and you don't even know how to master your own self and your own desires and your own wants and your own needs. That's why I say it's important to have good, solid relationships and understand what those relationships are and what they mean to you. Because like I said, it can be a weight that holds you back. You want to surround yourself with positivity. In this season, you want to pour into yourself. You want to love on yourself. You want to get up in the morning, and when you're getting ready for work or going to go work out or whatever it is you're about to go out into, you got to stand there in that mirror and you got to tell yourself, you got this. Hey, I got this. I don't know what's going to happen today, but between me and God, we got this. It's going to be okay. It can be all hell breaking loose, but you got to keep showing up. What is the saying? You fall down 10 times, get up, whatever it is, keep getting up. Whatever the saying is, keep getting your butt up. Just keep getting up, keep getting up, keep showing up, keep pushing, keep going, keep going. Nobody's going to come and do it for you. You have everything you need inside of yourself to get to where it is you want to be in life. Don't listen to the noise. Drown out the noise. And I'm not just telling you, I'm telling myself. I'm encouraging myself as I'm talking to you on this live. Like I said, I did a recording. I've never done that before, but guess what? I was determined to get it done, and I was determined to look at and find out and research how to do it. I wasn't going to outsource it and just give it to someone and pay someone to do it. Wasn't going to do that. I got to figure this out for myself because this is what I want. And if it's something that I want, I got to put in the labor. I got to make the commitment. I got to serve. I got to understand. I got to be humble enough. And most importantly, I got to ask myself, do you have the capacity to hold what it is that you're praying for, that you're asking God to do in your life? Do you have the capacity to be able to handle that? Do you have the capacity to deal with people and their emotions? Do you have the capacity to deal with a budget that you probably never seen those types of numbers before, but you got to work out this? Do you have the capacity to read contracts and understand what these people are asking you to do? Do you have the capacity to go in and have conversation with people at the table that you say, oh, I want to get at the table. I'm going to bring my own table. Okay, when you get in front of these people in the boardroom, do you have the capacity to speak that language, to be bold and to show up and to say what it is you want and mean it and be certain of it? Do you believe? Do you? You have to ask yourself those questions. And if you don't have the capacity and if you don't know and you're not sure, pray for it. Pray for it. Lord, help me to be able to be what you created me to be. Lord, put me in the place that you want me to put in. Lord, order my steps. Lord, hold my tongue in situations that I need to not say things, because it's sometimes we get pushed in a direction and we want to go off. We want to crash out. But I have learned it's such a beautiful blessing in holding your tongue and letting the Lord fight your battle. It is such a blessing. And, I have been railroaded before, and I'm sure it's other people that have been railroaded before, and you want to rip somebody to shreds. But you chose to take the higher road. And I know we have this cliche and people say, oh, when they go low, I go lower. No, like my mama say, when they go low, I go straight, because I'm just going to keep it straight. I'm not going to go up and down with you. I'm not doing that, because that's going to mess up what it is I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get to a certain place in this life. And I want everything that God has for me. And in order for me to get those things, I got to be humble enough to know to take my hands off of and let God do the rest. Let him do the rest. That's what I have to do. I just want to shout out right now. I want to shout out Beauty Brat for being online. I love her. Hey, Terry. Hey, Terry. I have on her shirt, and I've worn her shirt before on live before, and I have told you guys to go check her out. She does these lives on Facebook daily, and she sells a lot of great things, and she's just a good, fun girl. Go check her out, like her, follow her. I did a podcast live with two ladies today that was awesome podcast. Go check it out. It's not uploaded on podcast yet, but my little bootleg version is on YouTube. Go to my YouTube page, Conversation with the Modern Girl. Listen to the conversation. I think it's good. I think the rawer it is, the better it is, because we get too caught up in wanting stuff to look perfect. We get too caught up in wanting it to come across a certain type of way. But you know what? The message is there. The conversation is there. That's all that matters. So go check it out. Go like and subscribe to my YouTube page. I plan to do more on that page so you can get the alerts and you can know you'll have it if you go and like and subscribe. I do these Sunday evenings giving out this love, this service, this whatever you want to call it, a good kiki, or, spreading some love and some encouragement as you go into your next week, because I feel like somebody got to do it. You know what I'm saying? We can see a whole bunch of crap on social media that can make us feel different types of ways. But when you come and listen to my little live, I want you to feel good. I want you to walk away with some gems, and I want you to walk away and feel like you can conquer the rest of this week, right? It's all love. It's all love. And always, that's right, Wody, what's up? And always, I try to keep it short, sweet, and to the point, because I want you to come on and to be on that. Okay, Beauty Brat has sent me a request. Let's see. Is she trying to come on? Let's come on. Let's see if she's going to pop on. Sometimes people hit that by mistake. But anyway, I want you guys to always get something. Get something from what we're talking about. I think she's coming. Hey, girl.
You hit it today.
Wonderful.
You really feel good today, right? So But these words, like your words, are so encouraging. I think you sound amazing. And every time I see you, it's getting better and better and
Wonderful.
better. So just keep doing it. It was crazy because I just popped on, and I said, "Oh my God, she got on the Beauty Rat shirt."
You know it. You know I
My
represent you,
face just
girl.
melted my interview with the kids.
Okay.
I'm doing my stuff, I'm on my laptop and stuff. And I was just thinking, I'm like, man, just seeing how, just keep going, keep going.
You got to.
Anybody on here, she's saying is right. Just keep going. You might see 3 people on, like, viewing it. Like, right here, you might see 3 people, but it's thousands and thousands of people watching you. And it's some people on here that need what you got. And I mean, it don't, like you said, it can be raw. It don't have to be
That's right.
Put together. I'm nowhere near put together. Sometimes I'm country. Sometimes, I don't feel like a lot of times when I go live, I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
I just don't. But when you push through, it's so rewarding. Like those ones that you have to push through.
Yes.
It'll be the fun. It'd be so fun.
Right.
Like, hey, yes, I did it.
I did it, girl.
So, yeah. I think those are great words. I can't wait till we do some things together.
That's right. That's right.
I'm so excited about this year.
Yeah.
I'm excited about Modern Girl.
Thank you.
It's amazing, man.
It is. I appreciate you.
Come on and say something.
I thank you for the love. Thank you so much. Help me not feel like I'm out here by myself. I thank you, boo.
Girl, because I know I be looking on my life and like, dang, it ain't number 10 people. And when I get off, it's like people calling me and reaching out.
Yeah.
Or I remember those times that I was doing those little daily things. I stopped doing them. I need to start back. But our people were like, we miss your dailies. So just know it's somebody that's waiting on you.
That's right.
Somebody that needs to hear something from you. Where they understand it coming from you.
That's right.
Sometimes people don't want to hear it all polished. Girl, the kids are watching TV, so it's loud.
That's okay.
But sometimes they don't want to hear it all polished. They want to hear it from a regular person.
Right.
Going through regular things.
That's right.
So stay doing it. Look, the baby.
Yep.
Stay encouraged.
Girl, man. You got the baby there. Where Navy?
She right here beside me. They relax.
Hey, boo. Oh, hey.
He's looking at TV. But I ain't gonna hold you. I just want to let you know, I'm here for it.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Terry. Thank you. Love you, girl.
I don't know how to wave. I don't know nothing about this. You had waved at me, and I'm like, how do I wave?
Girl, it's a learning curve. It's all right. It's all right.
All right.
All right. Take care. Love you too. Take care. Thank each and every one of you for tonight for coming on and listening to my live. I appreciate you. And just like Terry popped on, I welcome anybody to pop on and have a conversation with me. I'm not out here by myself. It's other people on here that's showing me love, so I appreciate it. And I want you to go into your next week understanding and knowing that you have all that you need to make it, to chase after your dreams, to be able to accomplish what it is in your life. And if you feel like you're stagnant, take a self-evaluation. Look at those relationships and those things that are around you that may be distractions or that may be holding you back, and be fearless enough, be bold enough, be a conqueror, and let those things go and conquer those things and keep pushing forward, because what's for you is for you. But you got to be able to see it. You got to be able to achieve it. You got to be able to hold that weight. We don't want to just hold space. We want to be able to hold that weight and carry it well and be everything that we were created to be. Thank you again for coming on tonight and talking with your girl. Again, please go like and subscribe to YouTube, Conversations with the Modern Girl. Tell a friend to tell a friend, tell a friend to join us on Sunday nights when we have these conversations. To also go to my podcast, Conversation with the Modern Girl, also YouTube, and follow me on here. I will see you again next Sunday. You be blessed and have a great week.